Hey everyone, it's Ido here, your green-eyed rogue friend. That's a lie, don't ask me to be your friend. Anyway, I was minding my own business. I was helping solve a murder at work, classic Janderson Breffords Parchment Company kind of stuff. And then I got kidnapped because I'm a tiefling and we're very valuable. Well, our eyeballs are. Apparently they get turned into electrum or something, which is very concerning as a tiefling who has been using electrum a reasonable amount. So the guys, they came in, they busted in, they smashed up some dudes, they found me on an operating table, which was definitely not a traumatic experience, and then they fought marvellous. But I'll be honest, I was pretty out of it at that point. Apparently they fought a rock monster, which is pretty cool, and of course he won, because we're super strong, duh. And to top it all off, we saved a bunch of tieflings that had been kidnapped off the streets. Yeah, that was a bit of a situation. We had to figure out what to do with them. Anyway, I'm really gonna have to stop giving my dad so many heart attacks. Oh, and by the way, the murderer was Karen's friend Barb, and also Stephen Charity helped, so screw you, Stephen. I know he's dead. It's probably a bit rude, but he was really mean to me.
Kia ora everybody, and welcome to the terrible adventures of the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company, a D&D podcast for the 9-to-5er in all of us. My name is Penny D, and I will be your DM today, and if I was an item on a charcuterie board, I would be those, like, artisan pickles. Like, those ones that you're like, you can eat them by themselves, they can go on the meat, or you can have them on crackers, whatever it is, I would be the pickles.
Hi, I'm Poppy. I play Ido, the tiefling rogue. And the item on a charcuterie board that I would be, I'm thinking, that, like stiff jelly, like the fig jelly.
Yeah, the paste.
Nobody really knows what I'm for, but I'm there.
My name is Stephanie and I play Frankie the human. I think I would be like the brie or the camembert because like on the outside I'm not really weird, tasty, sort of slightly fuzzy skin, but on the inside I'm really good and soft and gooey.
All right, I'm Liz and I play Karen, the dwarf barbarian. And if I was an item on the charcuterie board, I would be the cheese knife because I'm always cutting the cheese. Woo! That's a fart joke. I'm joking.
Please don't do that here.
No, I would be the cracker because I might look plain and boring and very white, but I can always be added to. And I'm always there to support my friends.
No.
How do I follow up with that? Hi, I'm Nate and I play Flynvar, the halfling bard, and I would either be the chili chocolate dip that just is there for some flavour, or the blueberries that just get like sprinkled in amongst it to fill the gaps.
Oh yeah, the blueberries.
Arc 3, Who Spiked the Punch, is over. You guys solved the mystery, fought a dark angel, invaded a big mansion, fought an elemental. That was a bit of an arc, wasn't it? That was one hell of a Friday night.
God, yeah.
Wow.
So now it is time for Smoko 3. A little bit of a break for our hard-working adventurers. It's the very next day since the start of the office party. You're all nursing injuries, you're all so tired, you've been reconnected with your families, and you've all deserved a sleep in, which you each partake in for all of Saturday to give your minds and bodies a chance to rest. How do you choose to spend your Saturday?
So Flynvar has visited a couple of his family's noble friends to raid their libraries, just to, he's been a bit overcome, I suppose, by the variance of people that we've had to fight, so he's done some subtle researching along with his social responsibilities, and also visited blacksmith, armory,
Yeah.
to get some little ball bearings, so he's bought some things there.
Cross 2 silver off of your money. What specifically are you researching? I'll say you can ask me one question with the time that you have to research.
More into scrolls, but also just the types of elemental beings and magical beings that there were lore about. So basically he was looking into the stories that have been told and trying to pick out what could be still truth for our group.
Okay, well, so you've now encountered an earth elemental. So you do a little bit of research on them, you start there, and you discover that they come from a different world, a different plane called the Earth Plane. That is supposedly another dimension that kind of like exists around the material plane where you guys live. There are also, there are 4 of those dimensions, so apparently there's a water plane, a fire plane, and a air plane. A plane of air, and supposedly lore says that, for example, a lot of the jinn come from each of these planes. So like, for example, you know Murphy to be a fire genasi, so his ancestors likely came from the plane of fire, where you would also find fire elementals and other such types of creatures. So you spend a quiet afternoon reading about the planes, and it's very rare that anybody crosses over. Without magic existing in the prime material plane, the travel is really one way, and there's really no record of like what magic still exists in the other planes. You find no record of anyone visiting from any of the elemental planes, other than these types of like temporary summons that have happened. Like, so Mr. Marvelous used a scroll that was summon Earth Elemental, so he pulled an elemental in from another plane and gave it a command. And then when it was killed, it either, maybe it dissipated or perhaps it returned to its plane. You have no real way of knowing. Cool. Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah.
I didn't even make you roll for that. I should have made you roll.
Frankie would spend it studying that weapon he found.
Okay. I know I didn't make Flynn roll anything, but I will ask you to roll. You can use a set of tools of your choice.
I'm just going to use my, I guess, Tinkerer tools.
So add your intelligence modifier and your proficiency bonus.
11 plus 7, 18.
Yeah. So this is a propulsion weapon, similar to a crossbow. Let's call it a gun, for argument's sake. It uses a small amount of, basically like it ignites a small amount of flammable powder in a small chamber to then propel a projectile forwards at a blisteringly fast rate. And the projectile that was preloaded into the weapon. I mean, it's definitely the same as the coins. It just seems to have been created in a different shape. Okay. But it does appear to be made of green electrum. You get the feeling that when this gun is fired, something bad will probably happen. Or, something very destructive will happen. Or given what you learned about green electrum the previous day, this is definitely not something that should be played with. But with the roll that you did, you successfully managed to take it apart and put it back together and figure out how it works. Essentially, you cock the back of it to close the chamber, you pull the trigger, and it will send whatever is loaded into it, assuming it's the right shape, forward at a very high rate.
Okay.
Let's say its base damage is 1d12, but that would be with a regular bullet, of which you currently have none.
And do I know the shape of the said bullet? So if I want to go and someplace and see if they can make it, would it be? Yeah.
So it's very, very similar to a real life bullet.
Okay.
It is a small cylinder with a rounded end that you assume is for wind resistance, basically, to allow it to travel very fast.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's the shape of the green one anyway.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do with your day?
No, I'll just do that.
Okay. Do you have a workshop at home, or is it really just like a desk in your bedroom?
I'm actually just drawing it now, so it's like he has a little knapsack, or not knapsack, but one of those little cots, a tiny little bed off in the corner in the room sort of under his stairs, so it has that weird sort of angle, and then there's a desk with all of his bits and a bookshelf, a shelf with all of more bits, and it's just very messy and Frankie. Yeah.
So one of your sisters is really interested in what you're doing, so you do kind of sort of narrate what you're learning, and she is really fascinated, so you've essentially taught your tiny sister how to build a gun, and maybe she didn't really understand what she was hearing.
That's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, so I think what Ido is going to do is he's going to spend all day in bed, chilling out with Whiskers, and his mum is going to pop in every now and then and ask him if he wants like a glass of water or
Yeah,
some...
your parents are very doting today.
Yeah,
So
they're
happy.
really lovely and I love them so much. But I'm just going to be, I guess, generic study.
Yeah.
Because Ido realises that he needs to be a smart boy.
Yeah.
Because he's made some bad mistakes.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So you spend your day sleeping. Eventually you do get up and go down to the library and just pick up some books. One on The Art of War by a gnome named Sun Tzu. And just a couple of other books. That
And
are
something
like,
called the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. So you spend the day resting and reading, and really, like, you were so tired when you got home. And it was really just the like love and affection of your parents that was keeping you going. And so everyone has rested, so everyone gets full HP, full spell slots. Get rid of your points of exhaustion. Make sure that you are back to full. So you spend the day reading and just upskilling a little bit.
Yeah.
Karen would like to do a couple of things. She would like to first go to Terence the Tiefling's church, which she found out is called the Church of Delton. She would like to go there with 1,000 gold and make an anonymous donation in honor of all tieflings.
Okay. Yeah, really cool.
So that is one of the things that she would like to do, and she'd just like to... It's in a bag.
Yep.
And she's attached a little note to it, a little handwritten note that says, Terence will know who this is from. Please give to who needs it most.
Yeah, so just inside the church there is like a donations box. That's like one of those ones that it has a flap on top, so like you can drop stuff in it, but like people can't just like reach in and take it out.
Yeah.
You poke your head in, you have a look around. There are a few people. No one turns to look because it is a church and it is fairly run down looking. One of the windows is broken and some of the seats need replacing, and you're fairly certain that your donation will be put to good use here. It does appear to be like a little community hub within the slums. Do you bring anyone with you when you do this? Taking your kids for a walk? I suppose if it's anonymous, you don't want your family to know what you're up to.
Yeah, well, she will say that she's doing something very important for the community.
Cool.
But she doesn't want to share it around.
Okay,
It's
fair.
anonymous.
Yeah, I mean that would lead to the question of where did you get 1,000 gold?
Exactly. Barry, definitely not telling Barry that I am moonlighting as a rage monster who kills doctors and earth elementals.
Well, I mean, did you kill the doctor? You sort of just left
doctor
him
killed
to it.
himself.
That
He
is
might be
true.
fine.
He might be,
He
but
made
he
bad
probably isn't.
choices.
And if he is still alive, Karen will get him. The other thing that Karen would like to do is go and find out where Barb is.
Cool. Roll me an intelligence check.
Cool.
Actually, it can be intelligence or charisma, up to you.
Okay. That is an 18.
Cool. You get as far as you can on this. You go to see some guards. Like, it takes you most of the day, but you go to the main guard station, like the main spot. It's connected to the palace, but Barb has been arrested and she has been taken for questioning, and she is currently in the dungeons, and there is no visitation in the dungeons. So you do manage to sort of like, it takes you most of the day to sort of like, go to the guards and then go to the palace and look around and try and talk to someone, and you spend some time trying to not bribe anyone, but you spend some time attempting to get visitation. But where she is right now, having been newly arrested only a day ago, there is no visitation.
I understand. Is there any chance I could write her a note?
The guard tells you that, yeah, you can write her a note. It might not be delivered for a couple of days, but you are welcome to write a message for her.
Thank you. And she'd like to take out her official Janderson Breffords Parchment Kit and write down a little note. Dear Barb, I understand your reasoning, if not your method. I too would do anything for my daughter. Please know that if your daughter chooses to come to the city in the future, she will be well taken care of by the stonecutters. And that's all she'll write.
The guard reads the letter, just because you're trying to send a message to a prisoner.
Yeah.
And so he does, like, he's like, well, that's very nice of you, and he promises that it will eventually be delivered to Barb. when that is allowed. She's currently in isolation, but then he sends you away.
Thank you. And she would like to go home and spend the rest of the evening with her family, but also she thinks about how Idafer was gravely injured multiple times and how Barb nearly died. And she would like to go up into her attic and find her old crystal kit from when she was really into dwarven mysticism in her youth.
Okay.
And just kind of see if any of the crystals react to the electrum.
Okay. Yeah, you roll me an Arcana check.
That's a 7.
Yeah. We'll touch on that later.
Okay.
So on the evening of the Saturday, you each receive a personal telegram message from Janderson Breffords, the one who's still alive, asking you to come to the office the following day. Given everything that happened on Friday night, you decide to do as he asks, but there's no way of you all talking to each other, so you're like, well, we'll go to Murphy's first and then we'll go to Janderson after that. So you decide to keep your plan to meet on Sunday morning at Murphy's on His Goods. As you rise on Sunday morning, bright and early, fed and well rested, you notice that you feel amazing. You feel there's a spring in your step and the air in your lungs feels fresh. As your amulet hums happily, you wonder if this is just a bliss born from cheating death yet again, or if you have indeed somehow gotten stronger. It is level up time. You're going to go up 2 levels this time, so putting you all at level 5. Who would like to level up first?
Oh, I'm already doing it, so Karen can level up.
Yep.
She is taking a feat at level 4.
Yep.
And she is choosing the healer feat.
So that's connected to your crystals?
Yes, so I can use a healer's kit to heal a creature 1d6 plus 4 HP as an action, and a dying creature I stabilize gains 1 HP. And this is going to be flavoured as a crystal healing kit.
Cool, so the crystal kit that you got.
Yes.
Yeah, cool, that's awesome. What else do you get at level 5? Level 4 and 5?
Level 5, I don't get anything optional, but now I can make 2 attacks on my turn.
Nice.
And if not in heavy armour, my speed improves by 10 feet, which is great because I'm a dwarf and my speed's only 25, so now it's 35.
Now you're actually the fastest.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. Cool, and have you done your HP already?
Yes.
Or yeah, cool, okay. Who wants to go next?
Ido, with all of his studying, he has gained 2 points in intelligence,
Cool.
which will prove useful as he keeps using his magic.
Yeah.
And I believe I got a new rogue ability.
Let's have a look.
Oh, uncanny dodge.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you can use your reaction
Yes.
to half one amount of damage done to you, which is pretty cool. Given that you almost died a couple of times, I think that'll come in real handy.
So
I'm pretty sure you'll also gain some more spell slots and stuff.
Yeah.
Your sneak attack damage will go up. I think it's 3d6 now.
Yes.
And everybody's proficiency bonus has gone up from +2 to +3.
So level 4, I've taken the feat Prodigy,
Cool.
which more or less means I gain 1 extra language, 1 skill proficiency I didn't already have, and 1 skill double proficiency.
Cool. So which ones are you taking?
I took medicine, and then my double proficiency is investigation.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, and also another tool proficiency, but I'm pretty sure I'm proficient in most tools already.
You can take chef's tools or
Yeah,
something if you want.
yeah,
Brewer's tool.
yeah. And then in level 5, I gain a couple, I think, spell slots in level 2.
Yeah.
And I get, is it a chemical savant? So at 5th level, I develop masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them whenever you cast a spell using my alchemist supplies. As the spellcasting focus, I gain a bonus to one roll of the spell. That roll must restore hit points or damage that deals acid or poison, and the bonus equals my intelligence modifier.
Cool. That's so you're a bit better with chemicals and
a bit
stuff.
better with chemicals.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So healing, acid, or poison, you gain a bonus for.
Yeah.
Cool, that's awesome. I imagine you also get to swap around your spells and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Flynn, you're level up.
Yeah, so I took the buffs to my stats, so I bumped up my constitution and my charisma, because can't have enough charisma.
So that'll give you some HP, and charisma is your spellcasting modifier. So what's your charisma now?
So my charisma is now 18, and the modifier is +4, which is
Very
not-
nice.
and
So that's your level 4. What about level 5?
So I get Font of Inspiration, so now my Bardic Inspiration resets over a short rest instead of a long rest.
Nice.
Yeah, and your Bardic Inspiration also goes up a higher dice as well, isn't it?
Yep, 1d8 now.
So you've got D8 instead of a D6.
good.
Yeah.
And it looks like you also now have access to 3rd level spells as well.
Yeah, shiny.
Yeah, which is really cool. We don't need to do the full spell list and stuff. For those of you who are changing out or gaining new spells, we'll just find out what you have as you choose to cast them. So it's around 10 a.m. when you arrive one by one at Murphy's and you're enjoying the summer sunshine outside as you wait for the others. Who arrives first and second?
Karen's a pretty early riser, so unless anybody is specifically getting up at the crack of dawn, she would probably be there first.
Frankie would try to be there as early as he can so that he could talk privately with Murphy.
Karen's just sitting outside. There's like a nice bench sort of like outside. You're kind of looking over the space where you're like, I fought a really big goose here. And then Frankie walks up and sits next to you. You guys are welcome to do some role play, or we can just go on straight inside as everyone arrives.
Darling Frankie, how are you feeling? I know you took a couple of heavy hits on Friday night. And I know you had a couple of heavy drinks on Friday night as well. How's the hangover, darling?
Oh my God, was that why I feel horrible?
Yeah.
I feel horrible. Who would want to do this purposely? My head feels like it's been crushed under a hammer.
So you've got a hangover like the day after the
And
next day?
it's just carrying on. I would assume that's how Frankie is, because he's never drunk before and he drank quite a lot. And
He's very skinny.
I totally forgot that he got drunk and like
wasted.
The adrenaline, I think, pumped a little bit of that out of you.
And then as soon as, the adrenaline was gone, like, the hangover is like, remember me? And so Frankie looks horrible. But, he was excited. He's like, we survived things and we're just getting stronger and stronger. Do you feel stronger?
Yes. I feel stronger in body and mind. I feel like this has been a good, psychologically somehow, even though it's also been quite terrible. Do you feel the same?
He's saying, yeah, I feel at least 2 levels stronger.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I just feel just different. Like, if I looked back on who I was, a couple months ago, I'm a completely different person almost. I don't recognize that person, and I like it.
I'm proud of how you've grown, Frankie.
Spicy Frankie.
So Idafer now rolls up and joins the gang.
Yeah, he's looking real scruffy. He's just kind of scratching his head like, hey guys, how you doing?
Karen would like to give him a hug if he is available for a hug.
Ida's always ready for a hug.
Oh! She'll say, darling, hello. It's so good to see you.
Oh, hi Karen. Oh, I'm so glad we're all safe and well.
Are your parents okay?
Oh, yeah. My parents were absolutely horrified when I came home, but they know I'm safe now, and we all had a little cry.
Oh, that's good. That's good, darling. That's good.
Frankie awkwardly tries for a hug while you're like talking. Oh, you're talking still.
He ends up like climbing up onto his back, like it's like he's got 1 foot on the floor, but it's like a 3-limbed piggyback.
Yeah. I was just like, it's good to see you too, Frankie.
And then Flynn rolls up and joins you guys as well.
Good morning.
Somebody's feeling good.
Yeah, chipper much?
Did you have a good day yesterday?
Productive, I'd say.
Did you see Cassie?
No, I was doing some light reading. Just blushes.
I think Cassie will be quite busy talking to the police.
I guess you're right, yeah. And probably like doing some studying.
I'm surprised we haven't been called in yet. Well, maybe that's what that's all about. Going to Janderson's.
Oh, you got that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can all go together after
yeah,
seeing
that's
Murphy,
good.
right?
Yeah, that should be fine.
After a little bit of chats in the sunshine, it's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. You guys go on inside, and Murphy's shop assistant Yanis recognizes you and kind of like nods a little bit, and then flips over an hourglass that's next to her on the counter, and the illusion that hides the door to Murphy's like secret back room like drops. He's getting fancier as he's going by, and so you're all able to head on in. He's clearly been waiting for you. He's sitting at his desk with his like hands out, and there's like something strange covered by a cloth in front of him. And he's like, well, if it isn't my favorite customers. So I sold the class for cloning, and let me tell you, I made some gold. Yeah, so I did some soul searching, and I thought y'all handed it over with no expectation of payment, other than Frankie, of course. And anyway, I watched you fight that big goose outside, and I thought maybe you guys could use an upgrade. Don't get used to it, but Uncle Murphy got you each something that might make you a little bit more dangerous. And Murphy pulls the cloth away and reveals 4 brand new weapons, a great axe, a hand crossbow, and 2 swords. One thin and black, and one curved and evil looking, each with a small label on them. So if you guys want to open the links that I sent you to Murphy's Honest Goods catalog, your new weapons are on the first page, and you guys can tell the audience what you each have received as your new weapon.
This is so exciting because I'd forgotten about it.
I think we'll go in order, right?
Yep, cool.
Ooh, okay. Flynn sees the Laughing Blade, uncommon, +1, short sword, 1d6 slashing, and it's a light. So it's a curved sword painted to look like a vicious smile. Once per day, you can add your charisma modifier to an attack roll and damage roll. Woohoo! With this sword, or cast vicious mockery. You have a -2 modifier on your first stealth check each day. The spotlight has its price. It burns us all eventually.
Yep, so once per day, you can take your charisma modifier, which is +4, and you can either add it to your attack roll and damage roll of either a sword attack or a use of vicious mockery.
Nice.
Yeah, just once per day you'll get like a really solid attack in, which is really cool. And also the sword's kind of like always giggling and kind of laughing a little bit, so that's why you get like a little stealth penalty, because your sword is kind of always making a little bit of noise.
I'm making canon and it laughs at my puns.
So Ido has picked up the con man's backup, which is a beautiful rapier. It is long and thin and black, which very much suits his whole aesthetic. So basically, on a damage roll, if I roll a 1, I can roll 1d6 and they can take that damage instead. Is that correct?
Yeah, so usually it's a d8, and if you roll a 1 on your damage, then you can take a d6 damage instead.
Nice.
And the quote is, "A good swindler always has a plan B."
Ooh, that's me.
Karen has picked up the Temperate Great Axe. It is a 1d12 slashing great axe, 2-handed and heavy, but it's also a +1 because it's a magical.
So everybody's weapons are +1, which, just in case you don't know, means +1 to the attack roll and to the damage roll. So make sure you factor those in when you do attacks.
It's a battle axe with 2 vicious edges, and they seem to be letting off steam or maybe mist, and I can use my bonus action to add 1d6 fire or cold damage to an attack, and I can use each of these effects once per day. And Murphy says,
"Like a fine wine held in the grasp of a woman scorned."
He's so poetic.
Yeah, so you have like a fire ice axe.
extremely good.
Yeah, and Frankie, what'd you get?
So I've got hot wire, +1 hand crossbow, 1d6 piercing damage, ranged and light. Fairly standard yet well polished hand crossbow with a small spool wheel built into the stock. This crossbow is not considered a magic weapon except when it bears an artificer's infusion. While this crossbow bears an infusion, it gains the following effect with 3 charges. When you successfully hit a creature within 30 feet of you with an attack with this weapon, you can use your bonus action to deal 1d6 lightning damage to the same target. If you roll a 6, the target is pushed back 10 feet. You can spend 1 hour with Tinkerer's tools to reset the charges back to 3.
Don't touch that wire, okay? It's got a lot of kick. So essentially the hot wire is a hand crossbow with the bolts have like a tether attached to them, a metal tether, and Frankie can then like use his bonus action to do a shock through the wire. It can do that 3 times per day. All right, so those are all of your new weapons. And as you are standing and admiring them and kind of like, you know, testing out their weight in their hands, light shoots out from your amulets and engulfs the new weapons. You can feel a strange feeling as you hold them, like that feeling of sand being pulled out under your feet as you stand in shallow waves. And before you can do anything, the weapons are dragged inside your amulets. So roll a perception check.
Ooh.
Karen got a 16 to perception.
Yeah.
Flynn got a 15. Oh, sorry.
Ido got a 16.
Frankie got a 19.
So everyone who got 16, you're not sure, but you could have sworn that you heard like a slurping noise. And Frankie, you definitely heard a tiny burp,
The boys are in town.
which is definitely new. And after a moment, the new weapons are projected back into your hands from the amulets. They are now able to be summoned and dismissed just as your old weapons were, and they seem to retain all the magical properties that they had. And just in case you're wondering, yes, if, like Idafer, if you decide that you want to use a dagger instead of a rapier, you can choose to summon the dagger instead.
Oh, so that was our amulets making that sound.
Yeah,
So how many weapons can our amulet store?
there's only one way to find out.
Slurp those
I'm gonna
babies
feed it my
up.
dagger.
Slurping it up.
You have a dagger?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would already have been part of the amulet already. If it was something that you basically just had from your starting gear, it's just always been something that you can summon from the amulet in the first place. You never really had, like,
Yeah.
you guys are citizens of like a peaceful town, and just like carrying daggers and swords and big axes on you just would not work, so they're stored inside the amulets. And so Murphy kind of like watches this happen, and he's like, well, that was pretty much terrifying. Can I interest you in any of my other wares? It's buy and sell time. So I've sent you guys the Murphy's Honest Goods catalog, so you can scroll down from the weapons that you just read, and you can see that there's new stock available, as well as all of the old stuff. Feel free to have a look through the catalog, and when you're ready to make a deal, let me know.
Is there one of each of these things?
Yes, there's only one of each of these things. So if there is two people who want the same thing, let me know, and I will do a roll off, see who gets to buy first. The first person to tell me which of these items was created by Liv gets a special prize.
You're like, oh, Susie.
I'm sorry, what was?
The Disc of Sims 2.
Yes, the special prize is Liv now loves you.
I was like,
the best prize.
it's Randy, because Randy the Venus Flyterror is called Randy, and then I was like, oh no, it's because you attract cats, and then I read Disc of Sims 2, and I was like, oh no, that's it.
Yeah, so I hope you guys like the new items.
They're very cool.
Some of them were
Yeah.
made up by me. Some of them are classic items from the Player's Handbook and from the Dungeon Master's Handbook. So when anyone would like to buy or sell anything, let me know.
I love the bargain bin lineups.
Very good shirt.
I know, I'm kind of tempted by the very good shirt. This shirt is extremely snazzy. If you start talking to someone about the shirt, it's all they'll be able to notice. A creature that is involved in a conversation about the very good shirt has disadvantage on all perception checks and a -5 to their passive perception stat.
So if anybody wants to run a distraction, just walk up and talk to them about this
Oh, have you
shirt.
seen my shirt?
You see my shirt? Wow. I feel like that would synergize well, not with you, Poppy, but like if somebody else is wearing it, then you can do a bunch more sneaking around.
Yes, if anyone wants to be extra fashionable.
I am pretty tempted by it.
So who likes what?
I like them all.
I do like them all. I would like the Stone of Good Luck, the little rock that looks like a kitty cat. While this polished agate is on your person, you gain a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws, but I don't have
pretty
enough money. But that is very cute. A little kitty cat. But I'm very tempted by the very good shirt.
Okay. How much gold do you have?
I have 1,345 gold.
Cool. Okay. So you can spend as much as you want. If you have anything in your inventory that you want to sell, you can do that too.
Karen has made some decisions.
What can I get for you, Karen?
Murphy, my very good friend.
Oh yes, Karen, my very good friend. What can I do for you on this beautiful day?
I am feeling like I need a little bit more fashion in my life, and this very good shirt is extremely snazzy. And even though it is 600 gold, I feel like somehow it's worth it.
Oh yes. Did you notice that the fact that as soon as you noticed it, it's all you could talk about?
And it's all you can talk about as well.
Oh
isn't
yes,
it?
a very, very good shirt. I'm very entranced by it. Would you like to buy this shirt from me?
I would like to buy the shirt from you, Murph.
Well, that will be 600 gold. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. But before I hand over the money, I might as well get that potion samplers pack thrown in as well.
Yeah, potion samplers pack. Says 6 single dose potions ready to help you deal with anything life throws at you. Disclaimer, this will only help you deal with a maximum of 6 very small things that life throws at you.
So you get 1 constitution boost, 1 healing potion, 1 luck potion, 1 potion of spider climbing, hearing, 1 potion of dark vision, and 1 potion of invisibility.
Oh, that would be excellent. So that will be a total of 900 gold.
That is fantastic.
Cool, and I'll send you the stats for those potions later.
Sure thing.
Flynvar, my dashing friend. Unfortunately, I cannot sell you a very good shirt, but I do have many other things that I could potentially sell you at this time.
That's fine. I've got my eye on the glamour studded leather. I think that I could create a nice...
yes, this is a very good item. What you can do is it looks like whatever you want it to look like. So you can be wearing leather armor any time of the day, and it can look like pajamas, it can look like a wedding dress, it can look like a cool dragon onesie. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I just wanted to check. So I've had a bit of trouble when I'm fighting and getting rips in my nice coat. So I kind of thought, oh, this'll help this. So a question. When we're in combat, per se, and someone slashes at me, would the tears show up in the armor?
It's an illusion, so even if you get hurt, the illusion will not update itself to match unless you ask it to. Yeah, so if you would like to buy this beautiful glamour studded leather, that will be 2,500 gold pieces, please and thank you.
It's got 12 gold left, this one. Okay.
Oh, that's the most expensive thing in the shop.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Apart from the alchemy jug.
Oh yeah, the alchemy jug's still here.
Oh, yeah.
So you can add glamored studded leather to
Yes,
your AC. To your inventory. It is a +1 to AC as well as the change of look illusion. So when you put it on, what's the command word?
Dashing.
And what does it transform to look like?
So I quite liked my velvet suit from the party, so it's just a more casual version of that.
Cool.
Like everyday wear of the
Oh my god,
velvet suit.
like a lounge, like a velvet loungewear. I love that.
Frankie and Idafer, my young friends, you guys have so much beautiful time ahead of you. What can I sell you on this fine day?
I'm still looking, and Frankie just ducks out.
I imagine he'll probably want to talk to me later. He's always nervous.
So true, he is.
So for this whole time, Ido has had his eyes on the Stone of Good Luck because it looks like a little kitty cat.
Yeah. Do you have the money for it?
I do, actually.
Cool.
Hey, Murphy, is this just a nice looking cat rock?
Oh, see, the thing is that this thing, it'll just bring you just a little bit more luck. Mine personally, I had it on me when we were doing our fun little chemical errand, and it did help me sort of achieve a few things that I needed to get done, you know? So, without getting too meta, you can add +1 to any ability check or saving throw that you make, but not attacks.
Okay, I want it.
Excellent. Well, that will be 2,200 gold, please and thank you.
I push the money across and snatch the little rock that looks like a kitty cat.
Cool. Make sure you add that to your inventory, and don't forget to add the bonus. It's to every roll that is not an attack or a damage roll.
Cool.
Oh, that's so good.
And it also does affect initiative as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because initiative is a dexterity ability check.
Now Frankie doesn't know what he wants because that's what he wanted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think the whole Ido's very much theming himself around cat.
That's true.
It's gonna be that or the perfume.
Can I offer you this very nice disc of The Sims 2? I'm fairly sure this is from another dimension. It is a strange looking item, but perhaps you can trade it to somebody for something you can actually use. And it is a CD with the words The Sims 2 written on it.
And not an actual game of Sims 2. It's just like one of those burnt ones that just say The Sims 2.
Yeah, somebody, it's not the official one, it just someone wrote on it in a vivid.
Nice.
Pretty sure this is from another dimension. Interested? Yeah? No?
No. I'll think about it. But I think I've got something else for you.
Okay. Yeah. What would you like to go for?
I don't know. You know.
Can I interest you in this very snazzy-looking panic button, which I believe would be great for somebody with so much anxiety? So the panic button, just for your own use, it's got 5 charges. You can push it on a reaction and you will cast shield on yourself. And then on the 5th use, you can roll a d4 and it'll either cast shield or thunder wave depending on what you roll. You get the shield, or maybe it'll explode and it'll push everybody away from you.
I think I'll just get that because there's nothing else there that I want. Okay. Oh, wait, how much was that?
So for this beautiful panic button would be 1,800 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll get that. Yes. Instead of paying with all gold,
I'm listening.
would you accept information as currency?
Well, that honestly depends on the quality of the information, my friend.
I had information on various people who might have went to a certain someone for deals and whatnot and etc.
Do you let him have a quick look?
Let him have a quick look at one of them.
Okay, he picks it up, he opens it, his eyes widen, and then he puts on his poker face and he's like, I believe we can make a deal. So you have 6 of these dossiers. Yeah. One of them is the dossier on Bob. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I suppose I can give you a 300 gold discount, 50 gold per piece of information. Where did you get these? Because I'm fairly sure that these are related to one Mr. Marvelous.
Karen would like to step in and say, I feel like considering the amount of close calls that we had while raiding Marvelous's mansion.
Did what?
Those dossiers should be worth more than 50 gold.
Well, actually, given the risk that the holder of these dossiers would be taking on, considering somebody raided his mansion, holy shit, what are you guys even doing these days?
Just our best.
Okay.
Rescuing people. Good thing.
60 gold discount per file. And that's my final offer.
Yes, as Frankie glances to Karen it's okay. Yes. Also,
Helping.
I'll take that deal, but I also want to extend maybe something else to you.
As always, my friend, I am listening.
I have been honing my magical abilities, and I have now this ability to replicate certain magical items. If you're ever in the need for, at this stage, little low levels, just to stock up your...
Permanently or temporarily?
Permanently.
I'm definitely listening.
So, at the moment, I can only do a couple, but, if you ever needed another one of these jugs, and he just picks up the jug.
Oh, that's very expensive. Please, I've seen you drop so many things. Please put that down.
He does that, but then it's like, oh shit. That was just a game. If I wish to make a couple things like that, and would you be in the market?
Oh, absolute. Frankie, if you can make magic items from scratch, you are now one of the most valuable people in the city. But keep that to yourself, because you also might be getting a wanted poster really soon.
That's true, but I thought I'd put the feelers out there, so you and I could...
Oh, yeah, if you want to give me some kind of exclusive access to first buying rights, tell you what, you bring me stuff and I will pay you very handsomely. I'll tell you what, and then he pushes the panic button over to you, and he says, I will offer you this item for 100% discount, but you can only sell to me.
Of course. Who else would I go to? And let's think about it. Who's the best in the business?
That is me, of course.
Why would I go to anyone less?
Don't you dare go over town and go see Jenkins. His stuff is trash.
Oh, yeah, I've heard.
You've never heard of Jenkins before.
Yeah. And that's not even talking about Master Spec.
Where did you hear that name? Gosh, you guys are becoming players, huh?
We've been around the block.
Listen, that guy is dangerous.
And if you have any information that would help keep us safe, we would appreciate it.
He pulls out a wanted poster from a drawer. It only has a really vague sketch of a super hot guy with long hair, a really hot guy. And it says approximate sketch, wanted Master Spec in quotation marks. And the amount of gold is not written, but it does say dead or alive. Large reward.
Ida just grabs the poster and is like, oh, okay. Where can we find this handsome man?
Well, man, if I knew that, I'd be cashing that bounty myself.
Oh, you've got to have some info for us, though.
Look, I've never seen him. I've never met him. He's kind of like Marvelous, right? He's one of those people that you just kind of hear whispers about in the underground. I know he's got a few generals around. He's got a few agents out there, but who knows?
I believe we met one of them.
What? You guys are becoming dangerous to know.
Oh my god.
Murphy, darling, you're the one who got us into this in the first place.
Man, you guys have overtaken me.
If anybody is to blame, darling, it's you.
Oh, well, I can't really argue with you on that. Well, this agent that you met, what were they like?
Professional.
Who was the agent?
Friskin.
Oh, Friskin. Wait, but... Oh, so I guess he's not going to be at work tomorrow.
He very specifically said he wasn't going to be at work tomorrow.
I don't know if I was listening. I think I was too focused on the tieflings.
Yeah, that was around about the tiefling time.
Do you think you could maybe drop me a description, or people come in here. Maybe he's bought from me before. I just didn't know who I was talking to.
Maybe if we got like a discount.
I just gave him 1,800 gold worth of discount. Come on, I'm your friend. And while he's saying this, he's stashing the dossiers away.
Karen, at the end of the day, isn't somebody who's one to hold on to information if it can benefit other people. So she says, no, I can't be sure that he wasn't under some kind of spell that made him look different. But he was a hairless tabaxi.
That is... I've never seen a hairless tabaxi before. You mean like
weird.
those Sphinx cats that you can get?
Yes.
Oh man, that is...
It was a little
That
disturbing.
honestly sounds really adorable.
And he would sleep all the time, and it was so cute.
I mean, he was a general of a known terrorist, so I'm not sure how cute that is.
Still cute.
Okay. Frankie, I noticed that you still have a pocket full of gold. Is there anything else that I can get for you today? And he pulls out a bow tie and he's like, hey, how about this? You ever wanted to disguise yourself as another person who is wearing a bow tie?
Are you telling Frankie that he doesn't look great as he is?
Oh, Frankie is a beautiful man, but sometimes you need to infiltrate.
I was actually just thinking about Frankie would love a bow tie. He would look so cute in a fucking bow tie.
So, it's called the bow tie of dapper disguise. This spiffy bow tie lets you cast disguise self once per day, with the caveat that the bow tie cannot hide or disguise itself, nor can it be concealed with magic. So you can cast disguise self, and you can become anyone, but they will be wearing a bow tie.
Frankie wants the bow tie.
Cool. So that will be 1,000 gold. Frankie, my good friend.
Frankie puts it on immediately and also pays him.
Well, unless you have any more gold to spend, I will bid you a good day. It is always good to see you, my friends. Please come back and see me whenever you want. And if you do have any more wayward children who I can get to run errands, please do send them my way.
Well, we did rescue a few tieflings that might need a helping hand. Go down to the Church of Delton sometime. There might be some tieflings there who are looking for a little bit of a leg up.
But you
Yeah,
feel to
okay.
be good to them.
Church of Delton, you say?
Church of Delton.
Down the slums?
Yes.
Okay.
Ask for Terrence.
Okay. Am I allowed to tell him that Karen sent me, or is this one of those just like, hey, a businessman popped in out of nowhere and started offering favors type situations?
No, you can tell him I sent you.
Okay. I might have to get my hat out for that one.
Yeah.
That's okay. and if you hear anything else about well, he told us his name was Friskin, but I doubt that's his real name.
That's the general's name?
That's the Sphinx, yes. Just let us know.
Well, I will. I mean, to be honest with you, I would keep an eye out for a Sphinx tabaxi no matter what, because that does sound absolutely adorable. Well, I mean, like, ugly in a cute way, maybe? I don't know. I will keep an eye out for them. If I hear anything, I will let you know. Thanks for the information. Free information, Karen. But if there's nothing else that I can do for you, I do have work to do today. I do have an incoming shipment, so I will bid you adieu.
And we have appointments as well, so have a good afternoon, Murphy, and we'll see you very soon.
Goodbye, my friend.
Catch ya.
Kia ora, Penny here. Welcome back. Thanks for returning to our story after a month with no new episodes. For those of you who are wondering, the movie that I was working on went really well. There is some really cool stuff dropping around the 6-month mark. We recently released the official map of Yamir on social media for anyone who was curious. The story is going to start exploring the world a bit more from here on out, so if you want to take a guess at where we're headed, check out Liv Artisan Design's beautiful map of our world. We also have a little side project we've been working on. When we hit 1,000 downloads, we're going to put out a lo-fi beats Janderson Breffords Parchment Company animation. If anyone wants to have a remixed version of our theme song to chill/study to, that'll be out when we hit 1,000. Music credits. Thanks to Nico Staff for Walking in the Sky and Smooth and Cool, Patrick Patricios for Crazy, God Mode for In 3 and Weremut, Anno Domini Beats for Sunny Days, Delicate Steve for Reasons, Dan Hennig for Russian River, and Zachariah Hickman for Shruti Pie. And as always, thank you to Regan McKinnon for the show's theme song. You can interact with us at facebook.com/Janderson Breffords Podcast, and we also have a Twitter at JBPC Podcast where we post show updates and other cool stuff that we get up to. You can find the map there. We love hearing from fans, so please feel free to leave us a message or tag us. You can listen to the show at jandersonbreffords.podbean.com, as well as on Spotify, YouTube, Google, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. After our usual Smoko break, it's time to move on to a new arc. Episode 17 will be out on Sunday, March 14th, and it will kick off our next story called The Question Box. We'll release the arc cover a few days before on Facebook and Twitter for anyone who's interested in a sneak peek. Right, that's enough news, I think. Better get back to the show. You head as a group to the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company office. It is a lovely warm day, and the city is buzzing with life and vigor. You guys are all just walking together.
What's everybody wearing? Karen is wearing a... what's everybody wearing? Here's what I'm wearing. Karen is wearing a blush pink two-set with a white singlet underneath.
What's a two-set?
It's like a pencil skirt and one of those cardigans.
Oh, cute. Ido's basically wearing what he was sleeping in. It's kind of just sweatpants and a shirt. They are clean, but they look like pajamas.
Yeah, it's like the pajamas that you would wear to the supermarket.
Yeah, the ones that are slightly, elevated.
Frankie would be just wearing what he usually wears, so just nice clean pants, a shirt with overalls, and now a cute little bow tie.
What color is the bow tie?
I was thinking possibly blue with little white polka dot.
Oh, yeah, that's very
Gorgeous.
good.
And Flynvar, you already told us what you're wearing, right?
Yes, yeah, but I've decided it's blue velvet, not the purple velvet.
So you're wearing a blue velvet, not black tie level suit, but more of a day-to-day level suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And my ever trusty black hat and satchel.
So you arrive at the building. In Janderson's office, there's a note on the door cheerfully decreeing that he'll be right back with a thank you platter and that you should go inside and make yourselves comfortable.
Aw.
I am quite hungry.
Yeah, Karen will open the door and usher everybody inside.
There's a nice little sitting area with enough room for 6 people to sit. It's in the sun. It's just a little coffee table with a few couches around the outside of it. It's a lovely place to sit and wait.
So I don't know what you guys got up to, but I did some reading just because I'm a bit worried about the sort of level of things that we have to be fighting now. It's not really what I signed up for.
No, giant mud monsters that can move through stone was a little bit more than I signed up for.
And flying shadow ladies.
Yes.
But no, I was reading about the clay guy, the oversized goopy jar, and read all about elementals, and it was quite invigorating actually. Terrifying if people have more scrolls or ways to summon them, but it was very enlightening. I think we should try and find out as much as we can about how things are changing or being used. Freaky stuff.
I also did some reading.
Ooh.
I learned about war.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's when you make people fight.
Oh.
You are very correct, Idafer.
You're not wrong.
You are not wrong.
But war, what is it good for?
Absolutely not.
Commerce.
Capitalism is a prison. Anyway.
That's how my family got rich.
So, green electrum is eyes, and I don't know if you have morals or ethics, but we don't know. I don't know if it's probably the best thing to use, but because, the tiefling's already dead and the eyes are already turned into green electrum, might as well use it. If you don't want to, you can give it to me.
I kind of know what you mean, Frankie, but... Well, it made us feel so exhausted. Should we really be using it? Even though it was so... the power was pretty awesome.
Power was amazing.
I wonder if there's any way for me to utilize the power without, taking out my eyes.
Or if you do use the power, will your eyes then burn up because they are used?
Oh, God.
That's a good
And Frankie just wants to take one out and put it pretend it's in his
A monocle?
Yes. He's oh, look, I'm a tiefling now.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's not forget that is a dead person.
yeah, I forgot they're dead.
Well, there's the crazy guy with no eyes, the eyes burnt out that we found wandering in the sewers.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's still living a fruitful and productive life
Just blind.
Clearly.
in the sewers.
You actually found out about that guy, Idafer, when you were in the
Yeah,
dungeon.
not a whole lot though, just that he was there, and then they're like, oh my god, he made it out,
Yeah.
which is pretty miraculous, really, that he had his eyes taken out and then he found a way out. But did we end up taking him anywhere? We did, eh?
No, you left him there.
Oh, okay.
Because he was being extremely scary.
Yeah, and that's okay. But I may at some point, like if we end up near the sewers again, I might just...
See if you can find him. Well, maybe that means that they didn't kill all the tieflings that they took the eyes from, because... Oh, I don't know. There's no use speculating, is there, dears?
Not at the moment.
I wouldn't want to give hope to families that have lost people to Marvelous. I'm more worried at the moment about Master Speck.
You and I both.
Tea?
And you turn, startled by an unknown voice being so close. And standing in the doorway, flanked by 4 especially burly Warforged guards,
Oh, God.
is a slender, exceptionally pale woman with brown hair pulled up in a bun. She is dressed in professional women's business attire and is holding a thick bound folder full of files. I am the administrator, and I have some questions for the 4 of you.
Oh.
If you would like to avoid arrest, I suggest you comply peacefully.
Well,
Yeah.
please take a seat. We're just waiting for our boss to return, and I'm sure we can have a lovely and peaceful conversation.
You are here to speak to me.
Well, I'm sure we can have a
Did you bring
lovely,
the platter?
peaceful conversation anyway.
Yeah, we were promised a platter.
We were promised
We
a
were
platter.
promised a platter.
I don't have a platter for you. This is an interrogation.
I'm hungry. Karen, do you have any muesli bars?
I don't, darling. I'm sorry.
I've got an apple and some candy, some jelly candy still.
I cleaned out my bag.
Oh, well done, Frankie.
Okay, fine. And she turns to one of the Warforged guards and she says, charcuterie, now. The guard walks out and the remaining 3 guards walk up to you and start scanning you and stripping you of any magical items that you have on you.
Oh,
They place them carefully in a pile on the coffee table.
including our amulet?
They actually do not notice or attempt to take your
Oh,
amulets.
good.
The administrator notes each one of these items down before placing a sleek bronze shell that kind of looks like the constant replication on the table and tapping it lightly in a complex pattern. She opens her top file and gestures to you all to sit across from her.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, I'll take a seat.
She begins to read. Occasionally, her eyes flicker up to examine your reactions. Approximately 24 days ago, a new case file was opened when guards arrested a one-armed criminal at a storage facility in the town of Keyston. They claimed the missing limb was inflicted as they fought a dwarf woman, a halfling man, a human with ginger hair, and a grey tiefling who overpowered them using glowing weapons. Around the time of the supposed conflict, multiple citizens of Keyston reported seeing 2 carts leaving town very suddenly. The same day, 2 slum children told of a fancy-looking dwarf woman sneaking around the slums and giving them magic candy. A now disgraced slum guardsman spoke of a dwarf woman, a halfling man, a human with ginger hair, and a very suspicious tiefling being found at the location of a factory explosion. His report states he barely survived an attack on his guard station, but was apparently unable to keep anyone from escaping.
And Karen huffs out a little laugh at that one.
Witnesses living nearby claimed to see 4 figures leaving the same guard station following a disturbance and accompanying an unidentified male tiefling away from the scene. 15 days ago, at the Yamir City Prosperity Festival, during the attack, guards reported an unknown dwarven woman with suspicious knowledge of how the geese could be neutralized. Many guards reported a dwarven woman, a halfling man, a human with ginger hair, and a grey tiefling being present fighting the mutant geese right before they all mysteriously vanished. However, the report of what happened after the incident wound down was very vague, and the statements of these mysterious citizens were not recorded. And 2 nights ago, I received a report from... She pauses, and kind of swallows, says, a very reliable source, that employees of the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company were very competently wielding Electrum and had enough knowledge of magic that they were able to investigate an assassination that happened right here in this very building, using magical means. Later that same night, after one Idafer Belsa was reported missing, and at a time the rest of you were unaccounted for, 3 unidentified spies, accompanied by the active agent of a known terrorist, stormed the estate of a local dignitary and robbed him. And now, here you are, Mr. Belsa, suddenly reappeared alongside several other missing reported tieflings who have also found their way home, telling anyone who will listen stories of mysterious heroes who rescued them. She looks over the 4 of you as she opens the first of her 4 files. Karen Stonecutter, Hill Dwarf, 100 years old, wife of Barrington Stonecutter, mother of Basalt, Obsidian, and Emerald Stonecutter. Born in the Hives, came to Yamir City approximately 64 years ago and obtained citizenship. Holds a management position at the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company. She opens the next file and looks over at you, Frankie, and says, Francis Delaney Reynolds, human, 22 years old, son of James Reynolds and successor of the late Sarah Reynolds. Brother of Amanda, Emily, and Emile. Born citizen of Yamir City, at 17 years old, was offered a full scholarship at YCU but failed to attend. Maintenance worker at the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company. Flynvar Onagon, Lightfoot Halfling, 25 years old. Son of Sir Fledgwig and Lenny Bell Onagon. After completion of training and 1 year of service, received an honourable discharge from the Yamirsa military 4 years ago. A member of the sales team at the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company. She opens the 4th file. Idafer Atrix Belsa. Official age unconfirmed. Tiefling of Bizelbian lineage. Adopted son of Bolo and Adina Belsa. Awarded Yamirsan citizenship approximately 15 years ago. Biological lineage unknown. Employed as janitorial staff at the Janderson Breffords Parchment Company. Finally, she unrolls what you have come to recognize as a scroll and places it on the table, weighed down by pieces of electrum in each corner. The top of the scroll reads, Zone of Truth. I'd rather not use this, but if we have to go there, I have no problem with it. She looks at each of you with a sharp, intelligent gaze. So I have a very important question. All of this I know. I also know from your sloppiness that you are not foreign agents of Toth or other place. And I can draw from your actions that if you are criminals, you are not particularly good ones. So I must ask, who, in the name of Chiron, are you people?
We're someone who deserves a darn good thank you.
Okay, Flynn.
I think so too. We successfully stopped a terrorist attack. Unfortunately, a warehouse was consumed in the aftermath, but it wasn't a bank, so that was good. And we fought the assassin, and she was very scary. And I just... and Karen sits up and she says, I just feel like we deserve to know a little bit more of what's going on around here, because we've been searching in the dark for some kind of solution to all of this madness that's going on, and nobody seems to know much of anything, least of all us. So it would be quite helpful if you could give us a little bit of information about what the hell we've been doing.
The administrator stares at you like she was expecting tepidness, apologies, like a big begging for mercy. And she opens her mouth, and at that moment, the Warforged returns and places a wooden platter on the table in front of you full of pickles and dippable jellies and crackers and cheese and all sorts of stuff.
Blueberries.
And she waits for a moment. Do you guys all just like dig in?
Yeah.
She's so put off by the energy.
Yeah, Karen will just grab a single blueberry and just like pop it in her mouth.
I'm loading up
So
a big
confident.
crack tower.
Make like a cracker sandwich, like a double decker one.
To be honest, we have been dealing with a lot of stuff without knowing much of what we've been doing. And while we're not afraid of consequences. At this point, I think it would be more helpful to all of us if we all got on the same page, Administrator.
Especially since it just all started because we were just protecting and doing our job with our paper company.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's not our fault that we got involved in the magical underworld of Yamir City.
And we don't get paid overtime.
We don't get paid overtime, that's true.
Also, why is there so much underground criminal activity going on?
It really pays to, it shows how probably the lacking of, I guess, law enforcement going on in this city, if it's rife with underground activity.
If we've already been involved with 3 different criminal organizations, involved with stopping 3 different criminal organizations, rather, and we don't even know anything about them.
How many of the town's, military, guardsmen, possibly Warforged, are under the pay of these people if it's been so quiet up until now?
Yes, where is the uproar? Where are the people?
Also, why did one person just call me suspicious? That was a bit rude.
It was that racist guard that when you remember when you first got discovered at the explosion site, and he was really intent on arresting and questioning you specifically.
Oh yeah, and then we nearly beat him to death.
But then Samurai Jack, I mean.
Well, don't tell her about Moshi. We wouldn't have tangled with him if he hadn't had such a extreme and unfavourable reaction to my dear friend.
If he wasn't a bigot.
If he wasn't a big racist, yes, if he wasn't a big racist.
Also, I'm pretty sure there's no official records that we needed to be arrested.
Well,
so why were we arrested? They were just like, oh, we're going to arrest you because we're racist and you look suspicious.
That is true. That is true.
The administrator must be so confused.
She's fucking pissed right now. Her lips are becoming smaller and smaller as she is
But look, obviously magical crap has leaked into the underworld of the criminal minds. We were just trying to do our due diligence for what we were employed to do. But I think what you need to know, administrators, is a bigger problem. I had no idea that there was such things as magical crap around. I was just signing contracts, having good commissions, a nice bottle of wine. I was expecting a nice big sale of the year from my wizard friends. And, look at those shiny things holding that piece of parchment down. That's a scroll. That's magic. I should not know that. How many people do know that?
And how many of them are criminals?
Yes. So, how can we help each other to fix this diabolical situation?
She takes a breath, reaches down and grabs a piece of salami and just eats it, chews it thoughtfully. Well, I must admit, when I came here, I was expecting something different. I have read about you from reports. I have experienced third-hand descriptions of you. What I did not realize...
How hot we were?
That is not what I was going to say. What I did not realize is that you were all just... people. How did you come to find yourselves with knowledge of magic?
Girl.
And expertise in Electrum? As far as I can tell, according to my notes, you are all long-time citizens of Yamir City. How did this happen?
Well, it all started with a really expensive errand.
Yes, we were in the, well, you might say the wrong place in the wrong time, but as things are going, I wouldn't prefer anybody else to have been with me in Keystone when we discovered that magic existed.
How did you discover that magic existed?
We were following up missing chemicals.
We were following up missing chemicals, and we opened up a warehouse. You can fire up your zone of truth if you want to. There they all were, magical items, ready for the mafia to take them all away.
What type of magical items?
Oh, gosh, there was a lot of hats. I still don't know if those hats were magical, but they did look very good on you all. And there was a fruit one.
She stops and she looks at each of you, and you can see her specifically looking at the necklaces around your necks. Roll me an insight check.
Oh, Yep.
Oh, I rolled a nat 1. I'm really
Karen got a 22 to insight.
16.
I got 17.
Flynvar got 19.
Yeah, so you can tell from her expression as she's examining you that she recognizes the amulets. She knows what they are. And she possibly has seen them before.
If you have anything you'd like to share about the kinds of magical things that we may or may not have found, and Karen just kind of subtly points towards the necklace, please, we're still learning about them ourselves. Feel free.
Or should we fire up the zone of truth?
Try to take it off.
Oh, I don't think I want to.
No, you can't.
Well,
That is by design. Try to take it off.
okay. Well, I don't really want to take it off. I don't feel like I need to. I feel like it's better here.
Yes, you do. You. Try to remove your amulet.
I like it.
Anybody?
Green's my favourite colour.
Oh, this matches my bow tie. I can't take it off.
It actually doesn't.
This is news to me.
Your bow tie is blue, and the amulet is purple.
Hey, those are really nice colours that go.
Oh wait, your amulet's red, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, red goes with blue.
They're both primary colours.
It looks good together.
Citizens, I guarantee you that if you understood what those amulets were, you would want to take them off. However, I cannot explain to you because the amulets will not allow me to.
Well, could you write us a note, maybe?
Yeah.
We've got very nice parchment.
She is so over this.
Okay, how's this? Nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. See?
Oh,
That was so weird because your mouth was doing different things.
It was. Those objects have some history. That is all I believe they will let me tell you.
Alright, well, we're gonna die one day anyway, so I might as well die looking cool.
I am the administrator of Yamir City. It is my job to keep everything running. The Emperor is a busy man with a lot of things to do. And there is somebody whose responsibility it is to keep the taxes moving, make sure that the roads are upkept, make sure that the city is happy. This is my job. This is my holy purpose, to make sure that Ymir City is what it is. In answer to your earlier question, I cannot control people. Unfortunately, magic, the remnants of it, are something that exists in the world. And while power exists, people will attempt to claim it. There is little I can do about that, but you will find that for every criminal wielding magical influence and power that is out on the street, there are many more who are not, who are in the dungeons, who are dead, who are banished, who are, how should I put this, hoisted by their own petard.
And don't you think that maybe we have helped?
Foil their plan.
We've done a little bit of foiling, yes.
The reason that I am here speaking to you and not simply sending Warforged to collect you is because the results of your actions have worked in my favor. There is a dangerous criminal who is no longer on the streets plotting. There is a eco-terrorist who seems to have put down their sign and is no longer out there bothering us. And she stops for a moment and looks up at you, and then she taps the same complicated pattern on the shell, and she puts it away. She looks at the Warforged and kind of like nods, and they leave. She waits a few moments before speaking. I have a proposition for the four of you. I have use right now for agents whose service can be denied. People of such little influence that no one would suspect their involvement of matters of actual importance.
Yes, well, I have a blog. So you might say I'm a little bit well known.
She ignores you. What's a blog?
He has a journal, and sometimes he makes copies and then he posts them up on posts and things.
Yeah, people read them.
I've read it.
It's
very nice.
mostly about his father's cat whiskers.
She like rubs her eyes while she waits for you to stop talking.
Okay.
As I was saying. And she produces 4 silver coins from her purse, which lightly sparkle blue and purple in the afternoon light. These are imperial seals. If you agree to run some under-the-table errands for me, you can each take one. Showing them to any guardsmen of Yamir City will immediately have them desist any questioning, and you will not be searched further if one is discovered on your person. What do you say? Allies of the Emperor, or can your eyes flicker to the door where the Warforged are waiting? Something worse.
Mr. Breffords okay with it?
Well, I doubt we'll be losing our jobs.
Yeah, I just don't want to lose my job.
No, I don't want to lose my job either.
You will continue with your current existence. You will not be public servants of the Emperor. You will continue with your somewhat secret existence. I mean, I'm here, so maybe do a little better on that.
Well, it's not like anybody was giving us any direction.
Yeah, no, we weren't really trying. We were just doing what we thought was right. Anyway, is anything else in the seal? Do we get anything else? Any other benefits?
I won't throw you in prison.
Okay, well, like, that seems alright, so yeah. Give me that seal.
You may keep the illegal artifacts that I have confiscated from you.
And the ones that we find further on that help our cause.
Sure.
As Karen takes the coin, she'll just kind of hold it for a second. Along with the administration, she'll say, I'd like you to lose the files on my family.
Oh, good.
I will not create any new files, but I have a record of every citizen of Yamir City, and the lack of such a file would be suspicious.
Anything that I do does not come back to them.
Under the table means under the table.
Good.
However, if you should betray me or act against the Emperor's best interests, I will use these connections against you.
Can you
Oh
imagine?
no, that's what I was talking about. Nothing I do comes back to my family.
Well, no.
Well, I'm not going to have you threaten a child.
Well, don't betray the Emperor and then we'll be fine.
I'm not going to betray the Emperor.
Then what the fuck are you worried about?
Don't threaten me with my children. Don't
I pat
threaten
Karen
me.
on the back and I'm like, look, Karen's very sensitive about her children.
Don't threaten me with my children.
She's a mother. I don't know if you know what that's like.
Yes, well, unfortunately, I am not able to be a mother.
Oh, are you barren?
I sink back into my chair.
Oh my god!
Frankie chokes.
She turns to you and she says, I do not have reproductive organs. I am something that is called an asimar.
Flynn, you actual piece of shit.
Flynn, Jesus Christ!
Are you barren? Oh my god. Jesus
I am one of 5 holy servants of Emperor Timerius.
Oh.
That's exciting.
Look, we're
Who
sorry.
are the other ones? Do we get to meet them? Are they?
I think
We've already met one.
She starts rubbing her eyes again. She's like, damn it, Sassy.
Sassy. Sassy.
Is that it,
Little sister.
You would not believe it. Not believe what I go through for that one.
Well, we all make many sacrifices for our family.
And our parchment company.
And this is one that I'm making for mine. So I would very much appreciated it.
Your children exist. I have no interest in threatening a child, but my one and only purpose is to serve the city and to serve the Emperor, and I must do anything that I can in order to do this. So, if you are worried that something will happen to your children, don't behave against their best interests, and then you have nothing to worry about.
Well,
From what I can tell, you already do what is the best thing.
You've been doing fine.
You have rescued people. You have done nice things for people who deserve it. You have punished people who deserve that. Just continue acting as a good person and you have nothing to worry about.
Karen huffs a big sigh and she says, well, I suppose I have no choice. She'll take the coin.
Frankie wants to take the coin, but I just can't remember what Cher said to him when he took the green one first, because that was really deep, and Frankie would say that.
The guard?
Yeah, the guard guy, when he came to Frankie and was like, hey, see what you did there. And then he said something and it stuck, but not
Not good enough.
I don't remember the word.
I think it was something like, a hero always does the right thing even if it's not the best thing.
Yeah, so Frankie says that, not necessarily to her, just mainly to himself but aloud,
Yeah.
and takes that.
And the two of you,
Yeah, why not?
if you do happen to meet any of my sisters,
What's their weaknesses? Except family.
Maybe we should ask them if they're barren, Flynn.
if you do happen to meet any of my sisters, they each have their own holy purpose. I cannot guarantee you safety from them if you decide to behave in this way. I think particularly my oldest will not tolerate such talk the way that I have.
Sorry, could I just ask your name?
My name is the Administrator.
Yes, no, your name.
I've told you my name. I believe you have met my sister, the Assassin.
But her name wasn't Sassy.
Oh, what are the others called?
I think that was
chef?
just. I think that was just a cover, darling. That wasn't her actual real name.
Flynn, you said you were reading.
Oh, what about this? I do have a low intelligence.
There remain 5 holy servants who are loyal to the Emperor.
Cool.
You may meet them in your travels. If you tell them that you know me, perhaps they will give you preferential treatment, but perhaps not. They are their own people. They behave according to their purpose, and if you stand in the way of their purpose, then you may find difficulty.
Well, thanks for visiting.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So this is done, right? We can go home?
Well, I'd like to continue eating this platter, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, this probably...
This is a pretty good platter.
Yeah, she says, just because I thought you would be smarter than this, let me just make it clear, Janderson Breffords Jr. is not coming. This was a trick to get you here so that I could speak to you in private. Please do not wait for him to arrive, because he is not coming. She's like kind of speaking down to you now as though you were children.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Actual moron.
Administrator,
Yes.
what's going to happen to Barbara?
She stands and she leaves. She doesn't answer you.
Oh, rude, but fair enough.
Yeah, she kind of seems like a bitch, but okay.
But you know.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Yikes, that was intense, guys.
you guys are left sitting in Janderson Breffords' office, eating charcuterie, and with these new imperial seals.
Could I do an Arcana check on the seal to see if it does have any magical properties?
Sure, go for it.
It'll like blow up if we do something.
That is an 18.
If there is, it's not something that, like, do you have detect magic or anything like
No.
that? No. If there is, it's not something that affects you.
Sure.
I got a 2, so I know nothing. It's shiny.
It's definitely a coin.
What can we buy?
Would it be possible to do a history check on the amulets now that she said?
Yeah, go ahead. History or
good idea.
Arcana, go ahead.
17 plus 7.
Yeah, so you got like 25, right? 24? Okay, let me just go over what you know about the amulets. They attach themselves to you, and shortly after you gained access and knowledge of magic. You gained the ability to wield magic. Over time, as you did more deeds, you became more powerful, you gained more access to magic, and when you held a magical item of power, significant new power, a weapon specifically, the amulet consumed it. And was it you? Who heard the burp?
Me.
Yeah. The rest of you heard like the faint echoes of like slurping sounds. You definitely heard a burp. These are not something that you've literally like never heard of items that behave this way before. They're not written into lore. There's no legends about them. Like a flying carpet, for example, something you probably heard of before.
Yeah.
But the way that the administrator responded to them when she saw them leads you to believe that they are very significant. But in what way? You need more time. And also, they, like what Idafa said, like they appeared to block you from understanding more about them. When someone tried to tell you, you couldn't hear it. You just heard the words nothing, 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 nothing. Like someone was like going, ah, la, 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 over your ears. And you can't take it off. Like every time you think, maybe I'll take it off, you, no, it's fine.
Also, it's more like a case of we just don't want to. Like it makes us not want to.
I mean, it's hard to tell. Maybe you just don't want to.
I'm not addicted.
Is that magic not want to, or just general not want to? You don't know.
And so, you finish your charcuterie. Is there anything in specifically that you want to talk about before you go home?
When's Mr. Breffords coming in?
Idafa.
No, I'm kidding, Karen.
And he like it looks around like, oh my god.
And so, the sun sets, bringing about a sleepless night for many. How do you spend your night after all of this?
Karen is going to go back to her house, and she's going to say, Barry, darling, you know, with all of the things that's been going on in the city lately, the geese, that big explosion in the warehouse district, and this horrible event that happened at the Christmas party, I think it might be a good idea to have a little bag for each of us ready to go. Say if we wanted to visit your cousins in the country at short notice. What do you say?
Frankie would just be going probably straight home to just check over his scrolls and books and just learn as much as he can about, I guess, everything magic related that he's had, and just to make sure he didn't miss anything, secret signs, maybe secret like little symbols on the side of like pages, and we're holding them up into the light like Da Vinci Code, and like
I'm going home to study.
Yeah.
If there's anything that's like consistent over multiple scrolls.
Ida's gonna go home and his mum's made a delicious stew, and he just loves it, and he loves his parents, and while they're all down at dinner, he's like, I got an imperial seal today, and he shows them the seal.
Oh. I'm going to go gambling with some buddies and then go home and practice on some spells.
In the homes throughout the slums, tiefling families rejoice and celebrate the return of their loved ones. What coin is available is spent on liquor and food, and parties erupt, sure to last until morning. In many, many more homes, families sit up and hold each other, as now they are more sure than ever that their missing ones will not be returning. The charity family returns home from a funeral. Their Empire-assisted food rations does little to lift their spirits as they eat dinner in silence. In her small home, Cassentia Thulukina Riverstrider is diligently reading by candlelight, taking notes using the very stationery her friend Flynn provided for her. In a prison cell beneath the palace, Barbara Oakfell weeps openly, wailing for a daughter that she was supposed to spend a precious weekend with, and who now may be out of reach forever. In his opulent bed, Janderson Breffords Jr. tosses and turns, haunted by loss and disgrace. In a brown leather chair, overlooking a crackling fire, Mr. Marvelous spins a piece of electrum expertly over his fingers, sipping a drink and thinking, plotting. At the top of the city wall, the Sphinx Tabaxi, dressed all in black, finishes climbing over the lip and prepares to exit Ymir. He looks back over his shoulder at the lights sprawled out beneath him, and a smirk plays across his face. In a royal boardroom, the administrator rubs her eyes in frustration, tired of giving the same lecture over and over. Sitting across from her, the assassin continues painting her toenails black, rolling her eyes in a very blasé way. And in a hired room somewhere, a stretched, gaunt-looking elf snaps closed an old leather-bound book and nods to himself. His path is more clear than ever. All over Yamir City, tonight it is apparent that even though tomorrow is Monday again, there is more important work to be done.
Hello. I believe they've finally left. It is I, the administrator of Yamir City, and holy servant of Emperor Tyminius. I've been asked to provide a small piece of advice to the common folk, so here it is. Organization. Keep your notes and your affairs in order at all times. Plan your day so that nothing may surprise you. That is all. My thanks for taking the time to listen to the show. Now be off with you.